today I want to show you how to do a transmission flush on your Toyota FJ Cruiser. So one of the things I like to do is to take the car for a quick drive just to get everything to normal operating temperature, to get all the fluid warms and everything how it's supposed to be. I think it's better when you do it this way. So the first thing I want to do is to get under the vehicle. You're gonna have two balls on the drain pan, and one of them is not gonna say anything. The other one is say check. This is the one to check the level, but we don't care about that one right now. Later on we're gonna go back to that one, but right now we're just gonna take this one out. We're gonna drain whatever is in the oil pan. Then here you can see it's not even 3 quarts what comes out of it. Now that the oil pan is empty, we're gonna take all these 20 bolts around it to get the oil pan out. So what you see here is the transmission fluid filter. A lot of people say not to change it because it's just a metal mesh. Well, they are so wrong, because yes, it is a metal mesh, which what I was saying is a lot of people will tell you to don't replace the filter because they say that it's a metal, like a metal mesh, like a filter kind of thing. That is not actually a filter, but it is a filter. That's how they design it for the transmission fluid, and I think it's maybe like 100 microns or whatever, and each filter is different. You can look that up later, but if you have never changed it, I would say why not change it. It's only like $45 maybe, so just go ahead and do it. It's messy. In here, what we want to do is to remove the old gasket. You want to replace that. It's gonna be all toasty. Okay, and you want to clean this oil pan. Okay, once we clean it, you're gonna have multiple magnets in the pan. That's not something that like fell off. That is part of the oil pan. and it's there so all the particles that come out of like the gears or the clutches are stuck in them. Like this one. Don't see it that well, but there is metal particles in there. So you want to clean them up really good and put them back into the pan. So we want to grab our new filter. Be careful because it has an O-ring in there. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to install it without that. There's an O-ring right here, and as you can see, it has a little filter, metal filter, like a mesh, and that's what people are talking about, why they say you don't have to replace it. You do you. I will replace mine. And we got a new gasket. Alright, y'all, we want to make sure that we don't pinch this O-ring, and we want to torque this to 10 Newton meters. For the 20 volts in the oil pan, you want to torque those to 4.4 Newton meters. Okay, so now that the oil filter is on and torqued, the oil pan is back on and torqued, now we want to fill. So pretty much for drain and refuel, all you need is 3.2 quart of automatic transmission fluid, WS type. But we're not doing that, but that's what we're doing right now, right? And this is where the fill plug is. This is the back of the transmission oil pan on the passenger side. If you go a little bit higher, you can see the fill plug right here. Okay, so now here's the tricky part, right? Now you're gonna have two lines that go to your oil cooler, right? The one on top is gonna be return, and the one on the bottom is gonna be the one coming from the transmission to get the oil cool. So what you want to do is to take the bottom one off, put it on the bucket where you can measure how much comes out, start the car for about maybe 10 seconds. All you have to do is push from parking, reverse, neutral, drive, and then go back to neutral, reverse, parking. Okay, and then you're gonna shut it off. In that amount of time, you should have about 2 quarts come out. Whatever comes out, then you're gonna put this hose back in, and then you're gonna fill it up through the return, which is the top one. So we put it on a level base, and almost a little bit over 2 quarts come out. So that's exactly what I'm gonna put in on the return line. Okay, so you saw those steps, right? So you're gonna repeat that step until the fluid that come out of the transmission start looking a lot cleaner, and that's it. Once that's done, all we're gonna do is go back to the check plug. We want to check that, and it has to be in a temperature between 115 to 130 degrees. The vehicle has to be level, and once you get that temperature, we're gonna take the field plug out, not the field plug, the check plug out, and we want to make sure it's level. We're gonna do that next. And just so you have a reference, this is what comes out the first time, and this is what should come out when you're done with it. Big difference. Now, me, I did this on my Lexus, and I don't know, I would recommend it. It's called shoulder fix, and pretty much you just add that whatever is in this tube, and then all it is just additive. It's just gonna, it works. I mean, that's my personal experience. I believe it works because my GX470 was chuttering a little bit, and after I did the flush and I added that, it completely went away. And I drove it. It had over 200,000 miles when I sold it, and it was driving fine. So I do think it works, and I'm gonna keep using it because that's my personal experience. You don't have to use it, but that's just me. All right, so for the last step, we're almost done, right? You can do this 2 ways. You can do it using the live data of the vehicle, or you can use one of those temperature guns, because you need to know the temperature of the fluid in the transmission. So me, I am using the live data, and as you can see here, you have the transmission temperature. Right now it's a 92 degrees, right? I want that to be at 115 degrees to 130 degrees. But here's the catch. Don't wait until it's 130 degrees because it'll go up quick. So once you get to 115 degrees, make sure you got everything ready, and you're just gonna take the check plug or the overflow plug out. And if nothing comes out, then that means you didn't have enough fluid in there. You're gonna have to put more fluid in there. But if fluids come out, then just let it come out until you start seeing bubbles. That means that the level is pretty much level, and then you can put the overflow plug back on and torque it to 20 Newton meters. Yeah, so yesterday I had to cut it short because I opened the overflow plug and nothing came out, which only means 2 things. 1, you didn't have enough fluid in there, and 2, the thing is already perfect level. That's never gonna be the case. More than likely it's gonna be number 1, you're not gonna have enough fluid there, so you're gonna have to go back to the field plug, put more fluid. But at that time I didn't have no more fluid, so I had to go back to the store, buy more fluid, put it back in, and then do the same procedure, between 115 to 130 Fahrenheit, and then drop the overflow and get the correct level. This thing right here, you don't need one of them, but when you do these, you want to make sure that your vehicle is level. If your vehicle is not level, it's gonna give you a different, it's gonna give you an erratic level. You're not gonna have the right level, so make sure your vehicle is level. But yeah, we got all that situated. I went ahead and do the transfer case as well, because why not? I was already there, so I just changed the transfer case fluid. Last month I changed all the differentials, so pretty much now I'm good for probably another 100,000. I don't know. This fluid was replaced about 50,000 miles ago. It's supposed to be flush, but based on what it looked like, and based on I was about 2 quarts lower, because I did take whatever I took out, I put back in, so I was running a bit lower. I'm not gonna say the name of the shop, but I can see on the Carfax that the vehicle was supposedly have a transmission flush service. So apparently they didn't do it right. That's why I do it myself. Now I have the peace of mind. Next week we're gonna be installing a transmission cooler from Iconic Fabrication. I will show you step by step on how to do all that, and it is definitely a must-do for Toyotas. Now we'll go over all the pros of having one, and it's only like, can't remember the price, but it's probably like $200 or less. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing to do. But that's it for today. I hope this video helped you out, and I'll see you again.